Your brain processes 11 million bits of information every single second. It can consciously handle about 50 out of 11 million. So it cheats. It takes shortcuts. And those shortcuts? They've been lying to you every single day. Today, we catch them in the act. These shortcuts are called cognitive biases. And before you think, "That's not me, I'm pretty rational," that thought itself might be a bias. Cognitive biases aren't a sign of low intelligence. They don't mean you're gullible or weak-minded. They're built into every human brain, yours, mine, every person who has ever lived. Evolution designed them. For hundreds of thousands of years, these shortcuts kept us alive, helping us make fast decisions when there was no time to think. The problem is, the world changed, but our brains didn't. Today we're looking at 3 biases that are secretly running your life right now. And no, you won't see them coming. 1983. A Soviet military officer named Stanislav Petrov sat alone in a bunker outside Moscow. The alarm screamed. Satellites had detected 5 American nuclear missiles heading straight for the USSR. Protocol was clear. Reported up the chain, a launch would follow. But Petrov paused. Something felt wrong. The system had glitched before. He marked it as a malfunction. He was right. It was a satellite error. One man's instinct, his refusal to only see what he expected to see, may have prevented World War III. That's exactly what confirmation bias pushes you toward. See only what you already expect. Your brain actively searches for information that confirms what you already believe, and quietly filters out everything that challenges it. It doesn't feel like filtering. It feels like clarity. Think about the last time you changed your mind because of a fact you read online. Hard to remember, right? That's because your brain isn't browsing the internet for truth. It's browsing for agreement. Think about your social media feed. It's not random. It shows you what you've already liked, what you've already agreed with, what already fits your worldview. Your brain builds a bubble, then convinces you the bubble is the whole world. You don't feel biased. You feel informed. That's what makes it so dangerous. Here's a simple test. Think of a belief you hold strongly, a political opinion, a view on health, a judgment about someone in your life. Now ask yourself, when did you last seriously look for evidence that you might be wrong? Most people never do. Not because they're dishonest, because the brain literally makes disagreeing information harder to find, harder to remember, and easier to dismiss. The last time you argued with someone online, did you go in looking for truth? Or did you go in looking for ammunition? 1995, Pittsburgh. A man named MacArthur Wheeler robbed 2 banks. No mask, no disguise. He walked straight past the security cameras. When police showed him the surveillance footage later, he was genuinely shocked. "But I wore the juice," he said. He had read that lemon juice works as invisible ink. He concluded, with complete confidence, that rubbing it on his face would make him invisible to cameras. He was so certain of his theory, it never occurred to him to test it first. Psychologists David Dunning and Dunning-Kruger read about this case and ran a series of experiments. They tested people on logic, grammar, and humor, then asked them to rate their own performance. The people who scored in the bottom quarter consistently rated themselves as above average. They didn't know what they didn't know. And because they didn't know it, they had no way of realizing how much they were missing. The less you know about something, the more confident you feel. And the more you actually know, the more you realize how much you're still missing. You know this person. They watched one documentary about nutrition, and now they're correcting doctors. They read one book about investing, and now they're arguing with economists. And honestly, we've all been this person at some point, about something. The danger isn't being a beginner. The danger is being a beginner who thinks they've already arrived. Because real expertise doesn't feel like confidence. Real expertise feels like an ever-growing awareness of how much more there is to learn. The people most likely to be wrong are the least likely to know it. The beginner sees the game. The expert sees everything they're still missing. 1975. The movie Jaws hits cinemas. Beach attendance across America collapses. People are terrified of sharks. That summer, 50 shark attacks worldwide. People who died in car accidents driving to the beach, tens of thousands. Nobody was afraid of the car. The shark was on every magazine cover, every TV screen, every conversation. The car was just Tuesday. This is the availability heuristic. Your brain judges how likely something is based on how easily an example comes to mind, not on actual statistics, not on data, on memory, on vividness, on emotion. Plane crashes make the front page. Car accidents don't. So planes feel terrifying, even though you are 95 times more likely to die in a car. After 9/11, millions of Americans switched from planes to cars. Researcher Gerd Gigevensen estimated this caused around 1,600 additional road deaths in the following year. The fear of flying, fueled by vivid imagery, led people into a statistically far more dangerous choice. This bias shows up everywhere. When there's a highly publicized crime in your city, you feel less safe, even if the actual crime rate hasn't changed. When you hear about someone winning the lottery, you feel like your chances are higher than they actually are. When a side effect is listed on a medication, and you've just read a horror story about it, suddenly it feels inevitable. None of this is about statistics. All of it is about what your brain can most easily picture. Your brain isn't calculating actual risk. It's asking one question: how dramatic does the story sound? That's it. That's the whole system. 3 biases, and they don't work in isolation. Confirmation bias makes sure you only see information that fits what you already believe. Dunning-Kruger makes sure you feel too confident to question it. And the availability heuristic makes sure the most dramatic version of that belief feels the most real. Together, they can make a completely false picture of the world feel absolutely certain. These aren't just psychology fun facts. These biases show up in every decision you make: who you trust, who you vote for, what risks you take, what you believe about yourself. They shape relationships. They shape careers. They shape entire societies. And here's the thing that keeps scientists up at night. The smarter you are, the better your brain is at constructing convincing justifications for things that are completely wrong. Intelligence doesn't protect you from biases. It just makes you better at defending them. You cannot turn them off. Evolution put them there. But the moment you see one working, it loses half its power over you. 3 ways your brain lied to you today. 1. Confirmation bias. You're not looking for truth. You're looking for agreement. The fix isn't to become a skeptic about everything you believe. It's simpler than that. When you find yourself absolutely certain, actively look for one piece of evidence against your position. Just one. Ask yourself, what would change my mind? If the answer is nothing, that's the bias talking. 2. Dunning-Kruger. Confidence isn't competence. The most useful habit here is staying curious after you feel like you understand something. The experts never stop asking questions because they know how much more there is. Comfort with not knowing is a skill, and it's one of the most valuable ones you can build. 3. Availability heuristic. Dramatic doesn't mean dangerous. Before you let a fear take hold, or before you assume something is likely just because you can easily imagine it, check the base rates. Look at the actual numbers. Your brain is a brilliant storyteller. It is a terrible statistician. You won't eliminate these biases. Nobody does. But now, you know to look for them. And that changes everything. Next week, we go darker. We're talking about the people who don't just have biases, they weaponize them. Dark psychology, manipulation tactics, and how to spot them before it's too late. If this made you think, subscribe. New video every week. See you next time.